What is going on, TU crew? We're up to episode 40. Just wild that we have made it this far. Podcast is growing every week. We got some special things on the horizon for you guys. But other than that, how are we doing today, gentlemen?
Doing great. I'm doing great today, not last night. Let's say alcohol will not be consumed for quite a long time. But yeah, feeling great right now. We got some good topics. Ready to head into this weekend. I'm fired up for this episode, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm doing really well also. I'm up like $77 on sports betting this week.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Some minor Wi-Fi issues as we were getting into this. We'll see what happens. Hopefully no lagging, but we'll hope for the best.
I wonder if it's like a nationwide Wi-Fi thing going on because the entirety of my college town just lost Wi-Fi this morning for no reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What provider? Oh wait, I guess you don't know what provider the college has.
I have Xfinity, but I feel like
that might be what they have. That might be what they have.
I feel like because mine was a little bit slower, but it wasn't like dragging earlier, and I just tried to reset it, and that's when everything just went to crap. So I feel like me resetting it messed up with something. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully we're good.
Yeah, I think we're fine. Guys, just a quick reminder, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or YouTube, be sure to give us a rate and review. YouTube, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to our channel. Really does push out the content to more people, and we really do appreciate it, especially if you are enjoying the podcast. Takes 5 seconds, even 1 second if you just want to rate it and not leave a review. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you all have a second or 5 seconds if you have basically an hour to listen to our dumbasses. So, just take a little bit of that time. Go leave us a review. We appreciate it.
If you don't have that much free time, please reconsider the things you're doing with your life.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's challenge them to speed run how quickly they could leave a rating and review.
That's true. You know what? Just review, leave a rate, and then just write how quickly. Time yourself. Write how quickly you comment.
For the review.
Exactly. But anyway, guys, very special guest that player today. It is still a guest that player, but I'm changing it around a little bit to a different type. This is what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to go back and forth between the two of you, and you're going to name me NFL first overall picks, starting with 2020, going down. And whoever doesn't know, whoever gets the most gets the point. So that's where we're going to go. So we're going to, all right. So,
oh man,
this is a test of your NFL knowledge. I expect the first couple to be kind of easy. All right.
Yeah.
We're when we get into like the 2000s, I don't know. It's going to be crazy. All right.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm second guessing myself already.
Yeah. I'm like
who
2020.
All right. Let me just get this up first.
Starting with 2020, we're not doing, or 2021.
We're starting with 2021. We'll start with 2021. Yeah. All right. So Luke, we can start out with you. Who was the 2021 first overall pick?
All right. The 2021 first overall pick was, I'm blanking already, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Are you serious?
I'm not going to lie, guys. It's been a rough day.
You've got
Cut
10
this
seconds.
out.
You've got 10 seconds. I'm not cutting this out.
Fuck.
10, 9, 8. We're not losing on part. Gage, just answer this. We're not losing on the first
Trevor
one.
Lawrence.
Thank you. Okay. Luke, I swear to God.
All right, give Gage the first one. Let me have the second one.
All right, second one. Who's up next? 2020.
Joe Burrow.
Thank you. Gage, 2019.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Oh no.
Holy shit. I don't even have a time constraint. You're not forced. Guys.
What is happening?
Kyler Murray.
Thank you. Gage, he's short. That's fine. I know
Can we
you
just
knew
both
it.
guess? Can we both guess?
Yes.
Because clearly we're not good at this. We're not good at this.
All right. 2018.
Baker.
Thank you. 2017.
Myles Garrett.
Yes. 2016.
Shit.
Jared
Goff.
Yes. 2015. This one should be easy. Gage.
Manziel.
Oh my gosh.
No. Jameis.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know. Because you guessed somebody there. I don't know if I should not allow that. I don't know if I should give Luke the point there. You know, we'll keep going because I kind of want to see you guys get into the 2000s here.
I'm ashamed either way. So
okay. Manziel was not the first overall pick. Just to give you a heads up for this 2014 draft coming up here.
22nd pick in the draft.
Yeah.
I don't know why I even said that.
All right, 2014.
I'm crying right now. Jadeveon Clowney.
Yes. 2013. This is where it starts to get a little tricky.
That's fucking Luke Jokel.
No.
Or shit. Nope. It was an offensive.
Gage.
Eric Fisher.
Eric Fisher. That's it. 20. I should be. I don't know. This is this. We're gonna see. All right. 2012. This one should be fairly easy too.
2012.
He's not playing anymore.
Andrew Luck.
Thank you. 2011.
Cam.
Yes. Put that up. This is where it starts getting tricky. 2010.
This is where it starts getting tricky.
Also not playing anymore.
2010.
Yeah.
Not playing anymore. Oh my God.
I'll give you guys one pass. You can get one pass. You want to use your pass?
I don't think we should use our pass on this one.
Okay. I feel like you guys should get.
Only gonna get harder.
2009 isn't bad. I don't know. Maybe I just know a shit ton about the draft that I could go back to like I could go back to probably like 90, 91.
Damn. I hate this. I hate the spot that we're in right now, Gage. I hate this.
Come on, guys. Come on.
What team? Give us a team.
Set up for failure.
St. Louis Rams.
Sam Bradford.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sam Bradford. 2009.
Matt Stafford.
Yes. 2008.
2008.
He's still playing.
Wait. Okay, never mind. Not who I thought. 08.
Shit.
Yeah.
NFL MVP.
2008 NFL MVP. Oh my God, dude.
Is Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan is correct.
That's weird. That's a weird one.
2007.
Oh,
this was a huge draft. It's probably the most infamous first overall pick of all time.
Ryan Leaf.
No, you are way too early on that one. I mean, way too late on that one.
Fuck.
No, way too early because we're going back yet. Ryan Leaf was in the 90s. Luke.
Shit.
7.
This is a terrible start.
Guys,
this is a terrible start.
Worst first overall pick in history.
Jamarcus Russell.
Thank you. Yes, Jamarcus Russell. That was the correct answer.
This is
2006 is very tough, but it's not ungettable.
2006.
Can you give us the team?
Yes, I can give you the team. Houston Texans. Not David Carr.
First overall pick, 2006. Houston Texans.
Was it Vince Wilfork? No. Oh my God.
He did not even start out with the Texans, Luke.
We need to stop. We need to. This thing just keeps getting worse.
Luke,
Put this in the bloopers.
I'm gonna use that as your this is all staying in. Luke, I'm using that as your pass for that abysmal answer.
2006
defensive player, if that helps.
JJ Watt.
Wow, man, how
that was 11.
I think JJ Watt. You are. Is JJ
Watt was it?
God damn it!
If you can redeem yourself, I'll give you your pass back. You get this.
Fuck.
All right, you both using the pass. You go ahead. Who are you?
Nah.
No, go answer. Who are you gonna say? Who are you gonna say? It
nope.
can't be worse. It can't be worse than Ryan Leaf, Luke.
I think it can. I don't. I was gonna say DeMarcus Ware.
No, that's not. It's that's close though, because you're on the right track. It is a pass rusher. It was Mario Williams.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. All right. 2005.
Alex Smith.
That is correct. I know you knew that one.
I was waiting for that.
That's the Aaron Rodgers draft right there. 2004. Very famous draft here.
4.
Something very notable happened with the first overall pick.
Eli.
Yes, Eli Manning. 2003. This one's kind of tough, but I know college football, so I know this one, but if you don't.
He was a bust?
No, he was not a bust.
Oh, shit.
He was very injury prone with his first team. Then he moved to 2 other teams actually, and was very successful with the third team.
Very injury prone with the first.
Quarterback? Oh my goodness. Very injury prone.
He was a successful quarterback.
Yeah.
I was about to say somebody, and I was like, I'm completely wrong.
All right, whoever gets this first is going to win this point, because you guys we're getting to.
I don't think either of us should win this point.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
Will the team give it away?
The team might give it away.
Please.
I'll give you the team. Cincinnati Bengals.
Carson
Palmer is correct.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
give me those points.
I had to mute myself because my fucking dog.
Yeah, dog's on my side.
Do you guys want to go for 2002?
No.
All right, I'm gonna give that one to Luke, because I think Luke got most
I
of
don't want that one.
You don't want it?
Please give it to yourself, Jake.
I'll give it to my. I'm not even looking. I promise I haven't even looked at the drafts. I'll go right now. 2002, David Carr. 2001, Mike Vick. 2000, who was 2000? Courtney Brown. 1999 was. Who was 99? Who was 99? 99 was Tim Couch. 1998 was Peyton Manning. 1997 was. Who was 97? 97. I
feel like I need
97 was Dan Wilkinson. No, not Dan Wilkinson. I'm way too early for Dan Wilkinson here. Who was 97? 97. All right, 96 was Keyshawn Johnson. 95 was Keyjana Carter. 94 was Dan Wilkinson. 93 was
97 was Orlando Pace.
Fuck, I knew that. 93. This is when I start getting into the weeds. Was this Russell Maryland?
No, that's 91.
Fuck. 93 was Bledsoe.
Mm-hmm.
92 was.
I've never heard of this guy in my life.
Okay, that helps me. That actually helps me though. Nah, I don't know 92.
Steve Emptman.
I wasn't gonna get that. I knew it, but I wasn't gonna remember that. Yeah. All right. Well, I went pretty deep, but yeah,
that was the worst start of the podcast.
Neither of you are getting that one. Neither of you are getting that one.
That was
I don't want it, honestly.
Yeah, I thought that would be a pretty fun change of pace, and I thought it would be.
You know what, Jake? I'm proud of you. It was a great idea. I'm sorry that we failed you.
We did not start out pretty with Luke forgetting the most recent first overall pick.
Yeah, listen, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I thought we would get to like 2000. I thought 2010 would be the first slip up, because like before that, I felt like it would be pretty smooth sailing. We had a nice streak from like 19 to 16. But
in my defense, I haven't been like into football to the point of like watching the draft and keeping up with that kind of stuff until like, I don't even like within the past, I don't know.
Okay. That's
7 years, something like that.
No, just make sure to tune into the next episode where I start off with them listing off every single Mr. Irrelevant in every single draft.
Do you know who the most relevant? Do you know who the most relevant Mr. Irrelevant was?
Ryan Suckup.
Ryan Suckup.
Yeah. Wasn't there another one? There's another notable one that just got drafted recently, I think.
Ooh. Chad Kelly.
Yeah.
Chad Kelly. Yep. All right. So that was longer than I thought. And we completely just went off the rules that I created. So nobody's getting that point. But oh well. You win some, you don't win some, you lose some.
Yeah. You only lose.
Yeah. All right. Let's start out with some NBA talk because you guys need a little break from football right now after that showing. I mean, you know what? Another team kind of felt what you guys were just feeling as the Grizzlies beat the Oklahoma City Thunder by 73 points, which is the biggest margin in NBA history that a team has won over another NBA team in. What do we think of this? Gage, I'll start with you. Is this to the point of unsportsmanlike?
Is it like, I feel like in a basketball game, it's
73 is
well, yes, but in a basketball game, I feel like it's a little bit harder. Like in a football game, once you get up a certain amount of points, you can just start running the ball a lot, trying to chew the clock and stuff like that. In a basketball game, like you can only dribble for so long. You know what I mean?
And you can only put it. And if your backups are hot, if your bench players are hot, then like there's really nothing.
If you're hitting, you're hitting. And the backup guys that aren't getting a ton of play time, if they're on, then I don't blame them for taking their chances. But this is just, insane. And it's crazy that it's not like some big game or anything like that. There's no like huge names in it. We're talking about guys like Jaren Jackson, I think, had the most points in the game with 27.
Only one player over 20 points on the Grizzlies.
Yeah. And you know what the most notable thing is that Ja didn't even play. Ja didn't play.
If there's any way to defend the Thunder at all, they were missing a couple of their key guys. But I feel like missing a couple of your key guys doesn't then result in the biggest defeat in NBA history. Yeah.
Missing a couple of your key guys doesn't mean much for the Thunder either, because it's not like they have a lot of key guys. I mean, they have Luke Dort.
Yeah, I'm going to read off their starting lineup here. Darius Bazley. Who's this? Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Lou Dort, Terrence Mann, and Ty Jerome.
Trey Man.
Yeah. That's not even Terrence Mann. It's Trey Man.
Trey Man.
I thought it was a better T-Man.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
SBA and the other guy, what's his name? Giddey.
Oh yeah, Josh Giddey.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, Josh Giddey was not getting his shots in this game.
Player? Who's the foreign player that's actually pretty good? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't pronounce Alice. Yeah.
Something like that. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
So they didn't have any of those guys. And it's pretty funny that Steven Adams did this against his old team. That's pretty funny. But Luke, what do you think? Do you think it was unsportsmanlike?
I don't think it can be unsportsmanlike. 79 points. It's on the Thunder, as beat up as they were. It's on the Thunder. Like, you gotta. I don't even know. It's honestly leaving me speechless because I don't even know what to say. Fucking 73 points. Like, it's kind of crazy. I do want to just highlight that this Grizzlies team is really starting to come together, and they have the pieces. They sort of showed out at the end of last season, getting into the playing game, and then Ja beating Stephen Curry, even though the Warriors were, obviously injury riddled. This Grizzlies team is coming to play now. They are 12-10. They're about middle of the pack in the West, but they're still, they're getting there. And the West is obviously as hard as ever. So I think they definitely have the players and the ability and the talent and the coaching now to go on a run. And I think this is going to be a result of that. They gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter, 16 in the first. These splits are actually stupid. These splits are actually stupid.
Yeah, they're double digits down the board, basically, which is crazy. When who we got here? When D'Anthony Melton is putting up 19, John Conchar is putting up 17, Jarrett Culver 11, Santi Aldama is putting up 18. Come on, Thunder. This is embarrassing.
I think if I remember right, looking at the stats, the best plus minus for any of those or anybody on the Thunder was like minus 18.
Yep.
That's incredible.
That's insane. They shot 32.9% from the field, 28% from three. Hey, they shot better than the Grizzlies at the free throw line, 81% to 72%. So
good for them.
That's a win.
That's a win. That's a win. You take those small wins where you can get them in games like that.
What do the rebounds look like?
Rebounds
26 to 53.
Yep.
Assists 14 to 41.
Luke, what does Kawhi say?
Kawhi says he's the fun guy. And this wasn't a very fun
the other
game.
one. Oh my gosh. Board man gets paid.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh Jesus. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to pull up Raptors championship quotes here, and this guy is just fumbling the bag at every.
Whoa. Well, didn't Serge Ibaka, wasn't he the one to come up with that quote anyway?
I think Kawhi. No, it was Kawhi.
Was it?
It was Kawhi. Kawhi said it to like one of his high school coaches.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when they asked why he was always going after rebounds, boardman gets paid, which is true.
It's true.
100% true. I know that was Kawhi because Kawhi's New Balance, and I have the New Balance shirt that says it. They also did make one that says "Fun Guy," so that's another one that's pretty good. But anyway,
completely off topic. Can we just talk about how Jonas Valanciunas is leading the NBA in 3-point?
Bro, what is happening? What is the NBA right now, dude?
Wild. What were the odds? Like, if there was a bet for like through the first 20 games of the season, who is leading the NBA at 3-point percentage? Jonas Valanciunas is probably like plus 100,000 on those odds. Yeah.
Life-changing amount of money if you bet on that.
Yeah. I don't even think you could bet on that. Like, that's not even his name wouldn't have been on the list. That would have been a write.
Probably not.
Yeah. It would have been other.
Yeah. Other
field. I mean, that's what you expect out of Raptors legends, though. Let's be real. Gotta love him.
This guy. We switched to basketball, and then we gotta hear about the Raptors too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's before we go any further, okay. If you guys have not heard already, we have launched with Overtime. I'm not gonna act like we helped like them develop this, but we are partnering with Overtime.
Us three built the app.
We built this from the ground up. We know code. We know how to do that shit. No. But Overtime has introduced NFL fantasy, daily fantasy to their Overtime pools. And basically, we are going to be doing a pool every single week under the Totally Unqualified account. We're going to have some other awesome creators in there. And it's just an awesome feature, guys. So make sure to go to the link in any of our bios for any of our social medias, mainly on the Totally Unqualified social medias at Totally Unqualified on TikTok, at Totally Unqualified Pod on Instagram. And make sure to use our link in the bio to download the Overtime app. And also make sure to use our link in the bio to join the pool. They're giving away some awesome things. For this first week, they're giving away an NFL Shop $100 gift card to first place. And this is free. Like, you literally just need to click a link, download an app, and you have the chance to click 6 players and have the chance at this. Like, this is the easiest prize in the world.
Yeah.
It's honestly embarrassing if you don't go and do this. And
the best part is it resets every single week. So it's like you lose 1 week. Hey, you have the opportunity in 7 more days every single week.
They have a new giveaway every single week.
Brand new prizes every single week. The games open every single Friday, and it's for just the Sunday games. It literally doesn't get any easier, guys.
It doesn't. Anyway, let's get back to football. Speaking of football, Hall of Fame. One of the most controversial discussions in all of the sport. And Gage has taken the liberty of listing some borderline Hall of Famers.
This was actually Sped. I do have to say.
Shout out Sped.
He came up with the idea for this segment, and I was like, you know what? You came up with it. Tell me what players you want to hear us talk about, and we'll go from there. And these are the players that he came up with. So,
shout out Sped, the best general manager that we did not appoint in the biz.
Pretty much.
As he always says, self-appointed GM of Totally Unqualified, which honestly, I think we should give him that title. I think that's fair to give him that title. Yeah. All right. So first player up, this guy was just recently signed to the team that he started with. He came home. Many of you know who I'm talking about here. Cam Newton. Luke, I'll start with you. Is Cam Newton the 1-time MVP, 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time first team All-Pro, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and 1-time Offensive Player of the Year, a lot of those coming within the same season, and NFL MVP? I mean, is he a Hall of Famer?
He is an NFL MVP. So when I'm thinking about Hall of Famers, I'm thinking, can I tell the complete story of the NFL without this player or with this player, or do I need him? And I'm leaning towards Cam being on the side of I need him to tell the story of the NFL. So therefore, I think he needs to be part of the Hall of Fame. His resume might not be the greatest, might not be the best out of some other quarterbacks that we've seen go in recent years. But I think he has done enough to where he'll eventually get in. Do I think he's first ballot? Absolutely not. But do I think he'll eventually get in? Absolutely. He's a superstar in the league for his prime. Okay. He's not anymore. He's not what he once was, but you can't discredit the season that he had in 2015, where just the crazy offense that he had with a lot of injuries. I mean, Ted Ginn Jr. was his number one receiver that season, and not many people.
Really impressive.
Yeah, nobody talks about it. Nobody talks
Greg
about
Olsen.
it.
He had Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen, yes. And that he had it was 35 touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns, I think, in that season.
Yeah, 45 total touchdowns.
Yeah. And he was great up until the Super Bowl where Von Miller, just had his day against him. But I think you need Cam Newton in the Hall of Fame to tell the complete story of the NFL. His 2011 to I'd say 2016 run was just outstanding. We've never seen him anything like him. He, how like Michael Vick revolutionized the quarterback position and made it, made it so that running quarterbacks had a place in this league. Cam Newton, pushed that wheel even more. I mean, now it's Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray, but Cam Newton was also an an important part of that. So I think integral. Yeah. I thought about it for a second. I was like, I'm not quick on my feet right now, but I think Cam Newton needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
I honestly have to agree with that. I mean, I struggled with this one a little bit simply because statistically, he's not like Hall of Fame worthy as far as like passing and stuff, as far as quarterbacks go, of course, but I feel like his legs tell the entire story, because I do think that Cam Newton was one of the guys that is at the forefront of that rushing quarterback position, that dual threat quarterback, where Michael Vick kind of created it. Well, I don't want to say that because Randall Cunningham was doing similar things back in the day.
Steve Young.
Yeah, Steve Young. There's
Roger
been guys.
Staubach, Franz Harkington,
Yeah, but when Mike Vick came out, it was like, this guy is a crazy athlete. And then Cam Newton comes along, and we talked about it on the last episode, I think, is like the power back of quarterbacks. He gets in there, he runs guys over, and we were used to seeing more elusive guys. He's trucking them. So I think because of the accolades and because of what he was able to do on his feet, Cam Newton, yes, will get into the Hall of Fame. I also agree, though, that he likely won't be first ballot.
Yes. And I think to specify kind of the Michael Vick argument, Michael Vick, there was a bunch of running quarterbacks before him. Michael Vick was the first quarterback to break the barrier of the quarterback being the fastest man on the field. That's what Michael Vick did. And also having the cannon for an arm. Like, that was just literally unheard of. Like, Randall Cunningham was fast, but he was not the fastest guy on the field. Michael Vick was, listen to any defensive backs that played against him, he was the fastest man on the field. It was not even close. But Cam Newton, this one really is tough. It is. That run was special. I think, but it's tough because it wasn't like crazy special, because when you talk about guys that had short careers, that are in the Hall of Fame, you think of Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis was a 2,000-yard rusher. He was like a 3-time first team All-Pro, 3-time pro. Like, he went on a stretch there where he dominated. He only played like 7 years, but he dominated the NFL for like 3 of those years, where he was like the best running back in the NFL. Cam Newton, he was the best quarterback in the NFL for 1 year. And yes, I just feel like it's such an argument against him that you would have to make a good argument for him. I think he has a possibility. He's definitely a fringe guy. I feel like he has a possibility of 20, 30 years down the line, if it's a weak class, maybe he gets in, because I think his lore is just going to grow as years come to pass, and people, that didn't actually see him play are going to watch his highlights and go, holy shit, how is this guy not in the Hall of Fame? Because those highlights don't include his 2018 through 2021 seasons. That's why he's not. But it's definitely an argument. I am personally going to say not, because I feel like he did. If he would have had 2 more dominant seasons, not even dominant, if he would have had 2 more like really good seasons where he was, like a top 8-7 quarterback in the NFL, I would say yes. But I just don't think he had enough of those seasons.
If the Panthers win the Super Bowl in 2015, is your answer different?
I think it might be.
Mhm.
I think it might be because you can't take, because tapping off that special of a year with a Super Bowl championship. And I feel like that kind of, him not jumping on the ball kind of, it changed in the same way that the Seahawks throwing it on the 1 yard line. Like a lot of those players will point to that moment as the team falling apart. That was kind of the moment because the Panthers never got even close to playing that well again.
Yeah. The beginning of
And
the
then,
end.
exactly. And that kind of moment where his teammates might've been like, damn, dude, like you didn't give up your body on that one play for us. Like you couldn't just do that one thing. You had to kind of like bail out.
Yeah.
I think that's why it would be different.
Let me put another twist on it. Let's say he still doesn't win the Super Bowl, but they have that undefeated season. Instead of going 15-1, they go 16-0. Do you think that puts him over?
No, I don't think it does.
So?
I don't think it does. Because if you don't win the Super Bowl, if you don't tap off, because think about the Warriors 73-9 team. They didn't win.
Yeah.
They didn't win. Like the Jordan 72-10 team, I think will always be the best team of all time. I think they will be because of the talent on that team. And they did it. They won. To be the best team of all time from start point A to start point B, you have to be the best team. You have to be special through every single game, every single week. Obviously basketball is different because there's, 82 games. So, and they lost 10, which is insane.
Yeah.
But you got to be a special team, to be that 72 Dolphins team. We still talk about them to this day. Why? Because it's not that I don't think if they won the Super Bowl and still had gone 15-1, that we would be talking about them in the same light. Yeah. It would be a great team, but we'd be talking about them as a great team, a great Super Bowl team.
As one of the best teams ever, not like
exactly
as potentially the best team ever.
Yeah. If Cam Newton goes undefeated, wins the Super Bowl, I can definitely make that argument that he should.
We'd probably be talking about them like the 07 Patriots.
Exactly. I think that's the perfect. And Tom Brady kind of saved his legacy because he's fucking Tom Brady and has won plenty more. Yeah. But yeah. All right. Let's move on. We've been stuck on him for a while. That's the point of this. That's the point of this section though. We're supposed to be debating like this.
Yeah.
Next up, a guy that I'm so disappointed is forgotten about in NFL history that really doesn't get his just due. Priest Holmes, for those of you that don't know, running back for the Chiefs in the early 2000s. Great. If you ever get the chance to look up Priest Holmes highlights, please do it. This guy was very, very dominant. 3-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro in 3 straight years. Gage, I'll start with you. Is Priest Holmes a Hall of Famer?
So, yes, I think that he is
confident,
but I still don't know that he's going to be a first ballot guy either. Despite his accolades and stuff matching up pretty well with a lot of like Hall of Fame running backs and stuff like that. I feel like the team that he was a part of, the O-line that was in front of him, almost discredits him just a little bit because prior to them having the O-line that they did, because I think like most, if not all of those guys were like Pro Bowl, All-Pro talents on that line. I don't think he performs anywhere close as well. And you can say that about any running back, of course. And I think that Priest Holmes was special, but I don't think he really showed it until he had that incredible O-line in front of him. And I feel like he needed, I don't know, the rest of his career doesn't match up well either. Like he had those 3 straight seasons where he was really good. So I think that he'll make the Hall of Fame, but I feel like he needed more than that to be a first ballot guy.
Luke, before you go, I just want to say this. Many people don't know Priest Holmes was on that Ravens team in 2000 that won the Super Bowl. So he is a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
He was behind Jamal Lewis on that team, who was another 2,000-yard rusher. Priest Holmes is not the 2,000-yard rusher, but Jamal Lewis was. Jamal Lewis was out for a season and in 1998, and Priest Holmes filled in starting 13 of the 16 games and had 1,000-yard season.
Just went over 1,000. It was
just went 1,008. 1,008. But he only started 13 games.
Yeah. See, I was born at the wrong time. I was born in the prime of Priest Holmes' career. I gotta be honest. If I'm going back to my theory of can I, expunge this guy and still tell the story of the NFL, I think I could. So I don't think in that case, I don't think Priest Holmes is a Hall of Famer. I'm not going to discredit the 3 crazy seasons he had. 2001, 1,555 rushing yards, led the NFL, 8 touchdowns. 2002, 1,615 yards, 1,615 yards, 21 touchdowns, actually 24 total touchdowns, and he didn't even lead the league in rushing. And then 2003,
in 14 games, he had 1,600 yards rushing.
And then in 2003, 1,400 yards rushing, 27 rushing touchdowns. Okay. I'm not going to discredit. And then he had another 14 touchdown season the year after that in only 8 games, which was crazy. I'm not going to discredit the player that he was, but I just don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think when you look at other guys at the running back position, there's always going to be good running backs in the NFL, but I think only the best of the best of the best should be getting into the Hall of Fame. And was Priest Holmes that? Yes, for 3 years. But is that enough to put him in the Hall of Fame?
But even that, like you just said, like he didn't lead the league in those statistics and stuff. So I feel like to be a Hall of Fame guy, there has to be at least a year or 2 where you are the best at your position.
He led the league in rushing in 2001. Led the league in rushing touchdowns 2002, 2003.
But you were just talking about Terrell Davis, for example, and he had a short prime, but he dominated the league.
Yeah.
Priest Holmes had a short prime, and he was one of those guys. He was one of the better guys, but he wasn't the best guy. You know what I mean?
That's fair. It's a fair point. There were so many good running backs at that time. It's tough that he was put into that situation. Who was the other Chiefs running back that also had the early 2000s?
Yeah, there was
also had what's his name?
I forget his name. I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah,
but he was also really good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You're not talking about Jamal Charles, are you?
No, it's not Jamal. It's before.
That's too early for Jamal Charles.
Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. Not Priest Holmes. No.
What's his name?
Nope. Jeez. Larry Johnson.
Yes.
Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson was around the same time. I actually believe it was around that time. I can't remember if he was before Priest Holmes or after, but I think it did have to do with that just completely dominant offensive line that the Chiefs have. I think a bunch of those guys are now in the Hall of Fame that were on that offensive line. So that helps. But obviously, you can't say that it was just the offensive line, because I think Darren McFadden is the perfect example of it being just the offensive line, because he had the most dominant offensive line in the league that year that he rushed for 1,000 on the Cowboys. And he was just, that was so right. Because they had a dominant, I just hit my mic. They had a dominant O-line. Like they had one of the best O-lines of all time. So literally anybody, you could have put any competent running back behind that O-line and they were probably going to get 1,000 yards. So that's the difference between a really good running back and like a solid running back. So Darren McFadden gets just over 1,000. Priest Holmes, amazing running back, gets that 1,600, 1,500 yard mark with that O-line. So it just adds to it. But I do have to agree that he's not a Hall of Famer. It sucks. Running back is a tough position. I feel like with running back especially, you either need to be Terrell Davis and be the best for the short amount of time. And I mean like the best. Like if Adrian Peterson's only years in the league were like 2008 to 2012, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. Like he
like for a running back, it's like if you're going to have a short prime, it's like you have to be MVP level to be able to make it.
Yeah. He was offensive player of the year. He was an offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
So that's 1 year where he was probably MVP level. But again, I agree. I think this is tough. I think there actually is an argument for him. I do believe that. But I do think you can probably tell the story of the NFL without them. The reason that the Terrell Davis, Jamal Lewis, I don't think is in the Hall of Fame. I don't believe he is.
I don't think so.
But he does have a 2,000 yard season. So if he had more good seasons, he'd probably be in, because you can't tell the story of the NFL without the 2,000 yard rushers. Yeah. So that I feel like that's kind of the way to get in. Terrell Davis, 2,000 yards. It's kind of it helps you get in as running back if you're going to have a short prime, is to be that 2,000 yard rusher. Anyway, moving on. This one, I thought this one was pretty consensus, but I didn't realize he wasn't that good. I mean, he didn't have that many accolades as I thought he was, I thought he did. Okay. By the way, Charles Tillman, Peanut Tillman, the guy that could punch a fumble out of your arms if he was 20 yards away from you. He just found the ball. 2-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, and MOY. Is that Man of the Year?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Man of the Year.
I don't think that factors into.
I think they do consider it when considering people for the Hall of Fame.
I don't think it's the biggest factor though.
Well, no. I mean, it's not. It doesn't like hold a bunch of weight. They look more so at what you did on the field than what you did off. But
it's just like an incentive almost or something.
Yeah. Luke, would you like to start us off with, is Peanut Tillman a Hall of Famer? You probably did you catch the end of his prime?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. So
he's not
pretty well.
He's not, guys. He like. I'm trying to think of the words how I want to describe it. Charles Tillman is best known for the peanut punch, obviously. Yeah. That's his one move. That's his go-to move. Every time you see a cornerback or anybody punch a ball out in a fumble, what do they go to? Peanut punch. That being said, that doesn't make him a Hall of Famer. As I'm pulling up his accolades here, only 2 Pro Bowls in his career. It's not like he was ever the number 1 cornerback or was even a top 5 cornerback in his career. Obviously played a long time for the Chicago Bears, and at the end of his career, I think he went to, I want to say Carolina for a year or something. So I knew him pretty well, especially it was the year that the Packers lost in the NFC Championship game. Charles Tillman actually had a couple fumbles on the Packers, or forced fumbles. So listen, he's just not. He's not one of those top guys. He's not one of those best cornerbacks. When you think of best cornerbacks over the 2010s, you think of Charles Woodson, you think of Richard Sherman, you think of Darrelle Revis, you think of those guys. Nobody's thinking of Charles Tillman, unfortunately, unless you see a forced fumble on the field. And so, yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, good player, but I feel like he is, like you said, very well known for that specific niche. Like he's very well known because of the forced fumble thing, which he was very good at, mind you. Like he did it extremely well. Yeah. There's a reason that everybody points that out whenever they see a ball get punched out like that, because he was the guy. Like he trademarked it. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, he wasn't one of the best at his position ever. He was good at forcing turnovers, but that was like pretty much it. And that's why he doesn't have the accolades to back it up, or really the statistics to back it up. So great player. Don't think that he's going to be a Hall of Famer at any point.
Yeah, I kind of do have to agree. I have never looked at his accolades, but he was talked about so highly during his NFL career. And I think that kind of factored into his Man of the Year. How he won Man of the Year. But I think the Chicago faithful love him. He was definitely a very good cornerback. Let's not take that away from him. He was a very good corner, but he was kind of a one-trick pony. He had the punch. He might have been the best defensive back ever at jarring the football out. He's up there in that conversation.
100%.
Because 100%. I have never seen somebody be able to find the ball the way he did when he tackled people. He tackled people and his fist was just ready to get, like, he could be tackling them from behind and he knew where to punch to get the ball out. So obviously he's definitely, I'm sure he'll be entered into the Bears Hall of Fame. I'm sure that will probably happen if that hasn't happened.
Yeah,
already.
I think it probably has.
Yeah.
I gotta check.
I think the best way to put it is like how we see Trayvon Diggs today with his ball skills as far as interceptions go. He was the Trayvon Diggs of forced fumbles pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he just had that thing about him where he knew where the ball was going to be and he had a way of just getting to it every time.
I will say his 2012 season was kind of crazy. 10 forced fumbles and 3 pick sixes.
That's
and
insane.
That was his all Pro Bowl year. But that's pretty much it. That's really all he has to speak for. That's all you have to vouch for to, argue for him to get into the Hall of Fame. But
was he on that Bears team that went to the Super Bowl against Peyton?
Yes,
he was. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. And even in that situation, he's being overshadowed by Urlacher. So yeah.
A lot of people on that defense.
Yeah. So I think we all agree that he's not a Hall of Famer. Moving on. Frank Gore. I can't even count how many years he's still technically not retired, but he's kind of moved on to boxing now. But 5-time Pro Bowler. And he was a part of the 2010s All-Decade team. I believe he played 17 seasons in the NFL as a running back. I believe he has the most games ever by a player at the running back position. So, Luke, is Frank Gore a Hall of Famer?
Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer. But I do want to point out, I never thought of Frank Gore as one of the best running backs in the NFL in his prime, in his whole career. How many 1,000-yard seasons does he have? Like a shit ton. I'm not going to count right now, but it's looking like it's more than half of his career. And his career was 15 years. So 15 years career, at least, 8 of them were 1,000-yard seasons, as I'm seeing right now. Frank Gore was never a top running back. Frank Gore was never thought of being one of the best running backs in the league. Only made 5 Pro Bowls in his career, which is kind of crazy.
No all pros.
No all pros. I can't remember what was the last great season you remember Frank Gore having. I'm trying. He went to
probably
Indiana.
Super Bowl season, right?
Yeah, probably 2013.
Yeah.
2013. That was his last Pro Bowl that he made. Great as a 49er. He was solid in Indianapolis for quite some time. He played in Indianapolis for 4 seasons. That's kind of crazy. I don't even remember him playing that long. But yeah, sort of fell off at the end of his career there, going from AFC East team to AFC East team. But if it's Frank Gore, a Hall of Famer, absolutely one of the best all time. What is he, third in rushing or second? I want to say, let's see. I want to say he's third in all time rushing. He's second. You're muted,
up
Jake.
there.
Yeah, he's one of the.
Yeah,
I think he might be. I think he's one of the top 3.
Yeah,
he's got a lot. He's got a lot of them.
How are you not
got a lot
put
of yards, guys?
How are you not going to put a guy like that in the Hall of Fame? If you're going to put Larry Fitzgerald in the Hall of Fame for his longevity and him being one of the best, you got to do it with Frank Gore, and that's how I see it. So, absolutely, Frank Gore probably going to be a first ballot.
No. No, I'm not putting Frank Gore in the Hall of Fame. I got a lot of hate on TikTok for this a while ago. I started off this series where I was listing all of the current Hall of Famers on teams, and that's when Frank Gore was on the Jets. And people were not too happy about it. But like you were saying, Frank Gore was never at any point the best or even one of the best at his position. And you can say kind of similar to the Priest Holmes thing where there was a lot of other good running backs around at the same time and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe I just don't value longevity quite as much as some people do, but I would rather have a guy like Terrell Davis, who wasn't around that long, but he was an absolute dominant force in the NFL, than I would a guy that sticks around for a really long time that has just been decent his entire career, pretty much. He had some really good seasons. I don't want to take that away from him, but the fact that he has 5 Pro Bowls, which for one don't mean much to me, and no All Pros, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, people are gonna get pissed off about it, I'm sure, but that's just me.
It is tough to put somebody with no All Pros in the Hall of Fame because All Pros mean Pro Bowl. It's the fan vote. It's kind of a popularity contest. Yeah. Like Mitchell Trubisky has made a Pro Bowl, guys. That's just to tell you how much All Pros matter more. I've been both ways on this decision because Frank Gore, like Gage, like you said, at any point in his career, I don't know if he was top 5 in the NFL. I honestly don't.
It's true.
But he did play in an era with Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, Jamal Charles, Chris Johnson was in there. He played probably in the hardest era of running backs. Matt Forte was another one.
See, but you listed Marshawn Lynch, and I don't think Marshawn Lynch is going to be a Hall of Famer. But,
Stop it. Marshawn Lynch was a top 2 running back in the NFL. That year that Adrian Peterson was out, he was the best running back in the NFL.
Where are the accolades? Where are the stats?
Tell me I'm wrong.
With it?
He's made all pro teams. He's made all pro teams.
Whoa. Can we pull him up, please? I'd love to know. We're gonna get into a whole other debate here, but
I'm on it.
First team All Pro, second team All Pro. He's 2-time All Pro. He's been a first team All Pro. He's been a second team All Pro.
Ooh.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Marshawn Lynch is not going to be a Hall of Famer.
5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL rushing touchdowns leader, NFL 2010s All-Decade team, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking Marshawn might have Not
He's
in
got a
terms of longevity, but I think he might have a better
so, the
resume.
whole point that I was trying to make, we weren't talking about Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is better than Frank Gore, and I am I'm still on the fence about Marshawn Lynch. Whether you guys want to say that,
I would not want you as a voter. Jesus Christ,
Listen,
Marshawn Lynch. Gage, I don't know if it's been too long since Marshawn Lynch has been like in his prime on the Seahawks, but it was Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch for best running backs in the NFL during that span. Because Luke, am I wrong?
I would say definitely top 5. I don't know if he was ever the best running back, but I easily say that he's a Hall of Famer. 100%. I remember when he scored. Remember when he scored 2 touchdowns in the divisional round a couple years ago, where he just got picked up the week before? That was kind of crazy.
Oh, I know why he's Beastquake. Are you still mad about that? Are you still mad about Beastquake?
Right. No, it has
that he gets put on a high.
Beastquake.
He has two of the best runs of all time. Beastquake and that run against the Niners where you thought he got tackled out of bounds like 4 times and he stayed on his feet.
Or was it the Cardinals, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Cardinals.
It was Beastquake and then Beastquake again.
Beastquake 2.0, yeah.
Beastquake and then Beastquake 2.0. I don't think you could tell the history of the NFL, the story of the NFL without either of those 2 players. For different reasons. I think Marshawn is more so on the plays and, his antics off the field. He's such a unique personality, I'm just here so I won't get fined. And then Frank Gore is almost the complete opposite of that. He's the epitome of consistency in the NFL with all the 1,000-yard seasons that he had, and he wasn't getting injured, and he was able to sustain a long, lengthy NFL career, but he wasn't nearly at the top. So I think both of them have their cases, and I think both of them probably will end up in the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna put it this way, okay? Because everybody makes the Derek Jeter argument that Derek Jeter is like one of the worst defensive shortstops of all time. And they always say, what if Derek Jeter was on another team? Okay, Derek Jeter still batted .310 throughout his entire career and is a part of the 3,000 hits club. So, and Luke, I know you don't know a lot about baseball.
Facts. I was about to say facts.
Yeah, that is Hall of Fame. No matter who if you get into the 3,000 hits club, you're in the Hall of Fame. And on top of that, it's basically like I wouldn't say it's as hard as the 2,000 yard rushing club, but it's pretty hard. Like I would say it's like a kind of a step below that. There's only like 20 or so players ever to do that in 3,000 hits. So Derek Jeter, I would see if Derek Jeter was on like the Milwaukee Brewers for the entirety of his career, I would say that's how Frank Gore kind of is, because at the end of the day, you look at his stats and you're like, holy shit, this guy had like 12,000 yard seasons. When did that happen? And you look at it like, holy shit, this guy had like 3 seasons of like 12 rushing. When the fuck did this happen? Like, it's almost like you don't even realize how good he was being, because he was never the best, but he was always up
being
there.
Overshadowed by other people.
Exactly. And he did play in an era with a bunch of superstars at the running back position. I mean, he was in the era where Sean Alexander won his MVP of running back. LaDainian Tomlinson, I forgot about before. Adrian Peterson, Marshawn Lynch, all these guys, Matt Forte, all these guys that he had to kind of take a back seat to. And none of them ever got injured. So that's like kind of also another reason why.
Yeah. And like, I get that too, but I feel like at the same time, like we say that he played at the same time as so many of these other great players, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can't look at everybody around somebody and say that, oh, well, he wasn't as good as these guys, but he was still really good. And then him still getting the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like,
but he's on. Here's my thing. To Luke's point, Gage, I was on your side. I was on your side at one point. I defended you in that video that you made. Thinking about it more, you can't tell the story of the NFL without Frank Gore.
So here's the thing. I think that he will be a Hall of Famer. Yeah. But I would not vote him into the Hall of Fame is how I'm putting it.
Okay. So and it's not going to be unanimous either. He'll be.
No. Yeah. I think they'll have similar conversations to what we're having now when they have to vote on whether or not he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm interested to see what you're going to say for the next one, Gage.
Yeah. And I think, just to kind of wrap this up, I think the era we're seeing in the NFL right now, where all these running backs are getting hurt, kind of just strengthens his case, because he never got hurt.
Yeah.
He always was on the field.
It's not like he wasn't getting like low amount of carries either.
Yeah,
like he was
getting a lot of carries. Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. Tiki Barber. Okay, I live from New York, so I know this name very well. He has a twin brother who should also be in the Hall of Fame if he's not already. Is Rondae in the Hall of Fame yet?
I think Rondae's in the Hall of
I
Fame.
think they just voted him in.
I think so too. Okay, so Rondae's in the Hall of Fame. Rondae was on that 2002 Bucs Super Bowl team, one of the best corners of all time. Tiki Barber was doing his thing up in New York with the Giants. He left, I believe, the year before they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not win that Super Bowl with the Giants. But he was a 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, and 2-time scrimmage yard leader. So, Luke, start out with you here. Is Tiki Barber a Hall of Famer?
I don't think Tiki Barber is a Hall of Famer. I do not. Listen, I'm not going to take away from the crazy 5-year stretch that he had at the end of his career, 5 straight 1,200-yard seasons. I will say, though, he had a lot of carries, and that's not why I'm not putting him into the Hall of Fame. He did average pretty much 4.4 yards a carry. And then in the last 2 years, he had 5.2. Over his career was 4.7. Can you tell the story of the NFL without Tiki Barber? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Was Tiki Barber ever recognized as the best running back in the NFL? Maybe 05, but
no, Sean Alexander was MVP in 05.
But the 1,800-yard season, Sean. No, you're
There's
right.
There's a reason
right,
Sean
right.
Alexander won.
You're
MVP
right. You're right. Was Tiki Barber ever recognized as one of the best in the game? No. And I know I made that argument for Frank Gore earlier, where he was never one of the best in the game, but I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame. For this, though, he doesn't have the consistency. Only played 9 seasons. The Giants sort of ran him into the ground. I want to say at the end of his career there. He had 357 carries in 2005. That's crazy. Did have a 95-yard touchdown, by the way. But no, I don't think Tiki Barber you just said he wasn't in the Super Bowl run. So no Super Bowl. Yeah, doesn't have a ring, 3 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. Does that get you in the Hall of Fame? Those accolades don't. Maybe the stats do. But yeah, I wouldn't be putting Tiki Barber in the Hall.
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead, Gage.
I wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame either. I'll just go ahead and say that now. You said you were interested to hear what I had to say about this one, and I feel like it's pretty cut and dry that I don't think Tiki Barber is going to be a Hall of Famer at all. I mean, he's got 3 Pro Bowls, an All-Pro, which is 1 more All-Pro than Frank Gore, I might add. But with not having great accolades, and then also not having the consistency that Frank Gore has had, like you said, Luke, where he only played 9 seasons rather than Frank Gore's ridiculous amount. Yeah, I just don't see any way in which he gets in. I don't it's not like the Frank Gore situation where I think that he gets in, but I wouldn't vote him in. No, I wouldn't vote him in, and I don't think he gets in either.
All right. So my argument, damn, I'm looking at his stats now. Holy shit. He left after a 1,600-yard season.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that?
They kept on giving him the ball fucking 300 times a season. He didn't want anything to do with that anymore.
But he still averaged 5.1 yards per carry that year, even though he got it 300 times. He averaged over 5 yards a carry. That's insane.
Yeah.
All right. He has the Giants franchise record for most rush attempts in a career, most rush attempts in a season, most rushing yards in a career, most rushing yards in a season, most rushing yards in a game, most rushing yards per attempt, most rushing yards per attempt in a playoff season, most rushing yards per game in a career, most rushing yards per game in a season, most rushing yards per game in a playoff, most yards from scrimmage in his career and season, most yards from scrimmage in a game, most yards from scrimmage in a playoff career, most all-purpose yards in a career, most all-purpose yards in a season, most all-purpose yards in a game, most punt return yards in a season, most 100-yard rushing games, most 100-yard rushing games, most 100-yard rushing games in the season, most 100-yard rushing game in the playoff, and most 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
Not a Hall of Famer.
I think he is.
He's still not a Hall of Famer. I think he'll get in the Giants Hall of Fame. No fucking problem.
I think he is. Actually.
Oh, he 100%.
He's in the Giants Ring of Honor.
100%.
But holy shit, that's insane. I think he deserves to be in at one point. I don't think he's first ballot by any means. And we're way past the first ballot mark for him. But at 20 years from now, 10 years from now, if you're looking at those stats and you're like, holy shit, this guy was really, he did it 6 straight seasons over 1,200 yards, 5 straight seasons over 1,200 yards.
Yeah. And he had another 1,000-yard couple years before.
And I know he was getting a bunch of carries, but he was putting up the average yards per carry that were equally as impressive. Like none of them. 4.4 was his lowest yards per carry in one of those 1,000-yard seasons. Like that's insane. I think there's definitely an argument here to be made that he if he would have kept playing, holy shit, like he would have been really good. I think if he would have played a year or two more, he probably would have been in the Hall of Fame. If he got that Super Bowl, he would probably
if his career was longer, if the body of work was longer, I'd say so pretty easily.
Here's the thing. Giants fans are notoriously pissed at him because he didn't get injured or anything. He didn't leave because of that. He literally just left to go pursue a media career. He just left them. He just flat out left them. Like that's how. Like I said,
if takes a toll on the body.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have not gotten like a season-ending injury or something, but he got 20 plus carries. He averaged 3 straight seasons of 20 plus carries a game. And then a season before that, 17. And then a season before that, 19. That's crazy. That's not even counting the catches as well.
I will say, I will say that I would love to be in on this. I'm sure it's a yearly argument for Tiki Barber. I'm sure I would. Tiki Barber, if he didn't leave, because it was almost insulting to the league how he left, and Giants fans are still pissed this day. It's not like a Calvin Johnson kind of thing where Calvin Johnson like left because of injuries. Like Tiki Barber never like said it was because of injuries or because he was being banged up. I think he said his intention to retire at the end of the season. Before the season, he said he was going to retire, or no, during the season, he said he was going to retire at the end of the season. That was the year he had 1,600 yards. Barber had previously indicated his desire to retire at some point and pursue a broadcasting career. Why? Yeah. Okay. So it said the hits took a toll on his body is why he's saying, okay, but he didn't have a friendly exit from the NFL. Giants fans still have kind of a vendetta against him to this day. But if you look at his numbers, he's over 10,000 rushing yards, which is a mark that they kind of want to see you over if you're going to get in as a running back. And
5,000 receiving yards too in his career. So 1,500 scrimmage yards.
And he has all those Giants franchise records, and the Giants are one of the most historic franchises in all of football. I think there's a good argument for him to get in. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 2030 and Tiki Barber's a finalist and he's in the Hall of Fame, like, because he has the stats to back it up.
He'll be one of those guys, if he gets in, that it's like they have a spot. Let's throw somebody in there that hasn't gotten in yet, that's been around a long time. He'll be one of those guys if he makes it.
I think if Tiki's not in right now, I don't know if he gets in the future.
I don't know.
And that's kind of my thoughts on it too. I'm just saying, if he were to get in at some point, that's the only way that it happens. I feel like like you said, this conversation probably happens pretty often, and they just continue to come to the same consensus of no, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. All right. Now we are going to be making our week 13 NFL game picks. Crazy how the NFL season is about coming to an end. Fantasy season is definitely coming to an end. I think most people are in the playoffs right now. My league is still 1 week.
Yeah, I think we have another week. I think it's week 14.
I think 14 okay. So we have so fantasy football coming to an end. Football is getting to that playoff race. All right, let's go through it. By the way, bye weeks: Panthers, Browns, Packers, and Titans. Gage, if you want to just update us on the standings really quick.
Yeah. Currently in last place is still Jake with 94 and 86. You got +6.
Whoa! You
got +6 on the spreads last week. Luke is in second at 105 and 75. And you also got +6 on the spreads last week. TU Crew is in third at 107 and 73. They obviously don't do spreads. And then I am still in first at 110 and 70. And I got +8 on the spreads last week.
Sweet. All right, let's do this thing. Chargers at Bengals to start us off. The Bengals are favored by 3. This is a battle of 2020 first round quarterbacks. Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow, both having phenomenal seasons. Gage, I will start with you. Who wins this matchup?
I'm going to take the Bengals in this one. I think they're going to start to find some of that consistency I was talking about last week. And I think Joe Mixon goes back to back with fantastic games. I think he goes over 100 again.
I think the spread is right. The Bengals are the better team. I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to win. I thought that the Chargers were going to slip up last week, and I was completely right. I'm not high on the Chargers moving into the playoffs. I think they're on the downslope. Give me the Bengals all day.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Bengals here, and I'm going to take them to cover. but I feel like the Chargers just haven't been consistent all season. So that's kind of telling me that they're probably a piece or two away from being playoff Super Bowl contenders. So I think we can expect this inconsistency no matter how talented their team is for the rest of the season. Next game, Eagles are favored by 7 going into the Meadowlands against the New York Jets. Luke, who you got?
I can't trust this Eagles team. Can't trust them, not to be trusted. I'm going to pick the Jets to cover. I'm going to pick the Eagles to win. You can't be losing to New York teams 2 weeks in a row. That is crazy. As a Philadelphia, not native, but as someone who's been to Philadelphia, that is unacceptable.
Someone that's been to Philadelphia.
Yes.
Narrowing it down to billions of people.
Yeah. So give me the Eagles to win. Give me the Jets to cover. That's crazy. Jets to cover. Who would have thought I'd be saying that?
I'm actually going to take the exact same thing, but I'm not taking it because I share Luke's same disdain for the Eagles currently. I'm taking it because Jalen Hurts is currently questionable to play. And if he doesn't play, then they have Gardner Minshew, but I'm still not super high on them to cover that.
Yeah. The Eagles are just so inconsistent. It's like you can never get a handle on what is going to happen with this team. Jalen Hurts especially is another one of those guys that you just have no idea whether he's going to go out there and throw for 3 touchdowns or throw 3 picks like he did this previous week. I think I'm going to take the Jets in this one. The Jets are the team coming off a win this week. The Jets coming off a win against Houston. Eagles are coming off a very bad loss. Jets are at home. Zach Wilson, he looked pretty good. He did throw a pick, but he looked pretty decent in the game against the Texans. The Eagles defense is nothing to be scared about. So I'm going to take the Jets to win and obviously cover. Moving on. Next game. Bucks favored by a hefty 10.5 points over the Atlanta Falcons. Gage. Battle of 2 NFC South teams here. Who you got?
I'm taking the Bucks to both win and cover the 10.5 points. Seems like a lot of points. In most cases, I would take it, but we have now watched the Falcons. Well, they're coming off of a win right now, but their 2 games prior to that, they lost by a hefty margin. And I think that they'll do it again this week. I said in my video earlier that I think Tom Brady is coming back this week and he is going to look like his MVP self. And I am banking on that.
I'm going to pick the Falcons to cover here. The Bucks didn't look great against the Colts. Did have a comeback win, but they looked vulnerable at times. They're not going to have Antonio Brown for the next 3 games. By the way, what a fucking wrist slap that was! A 3-game suspension for a felony crime in submitting a fake vaccine card. Gotta love it.
And he might be injured the whole time.
Yeah. Just gotta love what's going on with Antonio Brown. What a terrible way to end a career. But I'm gonna take the Bucks to win. They're clearly the better team, but I'll take the Falcons to cover. It's an in-division game. I think they'll fight them hard. And the Falcons did, get back on the right track last week with a win against the Jags. So give me the Bucks to win, Falcons to cover.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that same thing. Bucks to win, Falcons to cover. 10.5 is way too many points for me. It is, especially if it's a divisional opponent. And the Falcons haven't been that bad this year. I think they played the Bucks already, and I think they put up a decent fight with them already earlier in the season. So it's in Atlanta.
25.
It was originally. It
was close.
It was a good game early in that game. It was looking like the Falcons are actually putting up a fight. Then the Bucks kind of pulled away. But give me the Falcons. The Bucks haven't been playing all that great lately either. So even though they had a dominant game last week. But anyway, moving on. Cardinals favored by 7.5 points. Big spreads this week. Jeez. Cardinals favored by 7.5 points against the Chicago Bears. Luke, who you got?
It's looking like Andy Dalton is starting this week. I guess I don't know what injury Justin Fields has, but
cracked ribs.
Okay. Ooh, yikes. Andy Dalton's going to be starting this week. Kyler Murray's coming back this week. I think DeAndre Hopkins, their game time decisions. Yep. The dynamic duo is coming back there. The Cardinals are hungry. They're finally getting, back to 100% healthy. I think they're going to win, and I think they're going to cover because I don't think very highly of Andy Dalton or anybody on the Bears or anybody associated with the Bears. So give me the Cardinals to win and cover.
So Kyler's playing. Kyler's playing in this game?
Game time decision, but it's looking
okay.
He has been practicing. D-Hop still hasn't been practicing from what I heard.
All right.
But I am still going to take the Cardinals in this one either way, and I am going to take them to cover as well. I think that the Bears are, for lack of a better way to put it, dog shit. So the Cardinals will cover pretty easily, I think.
Fact.
Yeah, I know Luke like that one. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. Cover. I get so. I hate big spreads because they're hard. Not that close spreads are much harder, but Yeah, give me the Cardinals in this one. And I'm definitely going to take, shit. They're banged up too. Give me the Bears to cover that. Andy Dalton's not that bad. Even no matter how bad yeah. I mean, they've got David Montgomery back. I feel like they can put up some points here. So yeah, give me the Cardinals win, Bears to cover. Vikings favored by 7.5 against the Detroit Lions. NFC North matchup here. Gage, who we got?
I do have the Vikings winning this one. I don't think the Lions go in and get their first one of the season. But you know what? Give me the Lions to cover because it just feels like a Lions thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you were lying to yourself. I'm at the point where I think the Lions are not gonna get a win this season. They have games remaining. The Vikings, the Broncos, Cardinals, Falcons, Seahawks, and Lions. Or I mean, not Lions, Packers. So you think maybe Seahawks, maybe Falcons, maybe Broncos, maybe this week?
Hey, wow, thanks.
I'm saying maybe. I don't think they're. I just said I think.
Yeah, but you put them on the list. You put them on the list. That's
they're on the list. They're on the schedule.
You're 3-8, bro.
No.
They're on the list.
No. You put them on your maybe list of maybe the Lions get a win there.
Maybe they get a win against the Packers.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
All right, whatever. Fine, I get it. Okay, the Seahawks. The Seahawks are ass. I get it. Okay, God.
Real quick,
gotta rub it in my face.
Top QB prospect Quinn Ewers has told Ohio State that he will be entering the transfer portal.
Let's go! Let's go! Get the fuck out of the Big Ten East, Quinn Ewers. Yes,
leaving.
It's just because that we all know how good what's his name? Jesus, I can't. What's his fucking name? CJ Stroud played this year, and they have another 5-star quarterback in that room in Kyle McCord. So
I think it also said that he is interested in Texas A&M.
So him and Jimbo would be fun.
He's already set for life. He got $1 million endorsement in high school, so it doesn't.
I wonder if that endorsement deal is like, oh shit, like what the fuck are you doing transferring here?
You think they take
we paid you to play at Ohio State. Where the fuck are you going?
Hey, maybe he's going the Money Manziel route. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Vikings win. Vikings cover. Lions suck. That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings win, Vikings cover. I picked the Lions too many times now, and they're just not living up to my expectations here.
Yep.
And I just think Alexander Madison's going to torch them this week. So I got to go with the Vikings here. I'm so sorry, Lions. I love you, Dan Campbell. I do. I want you to win, but dude, come on. It's just like they're cursed after that Thanksgiving game. Like between the coaches and the players, like somebody needs to know what the hell is going on, and none of them do. So go get Kayvon Thibodeau, improve your defense, and yeah, whatever. Moving on. Giants at Dolphins. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be
Super Bowl preview.
Oh yeah. All right, Luke, start us off. Dolphins are favored by 6. That's a
Daniel Jones is not playing.
Daniel Jones is not playing. Okay, that's fine.
Mike Glennon show, baby. Woo! Because I know we all want to see that. Who cares? That's my analysis.
That's your pick.
Yeah, that's my pick. Yeah, give me the Dolphins. Give me them to cover. They're on a 4-game win streak. Tua has been playing all right. Yeah, Dolphins.
I'll take the same thing. I think that their defense is coming along. The Giants are going to be without their quarterback, who's not that great to begin with, and the guy behind him isn't either. So I'll take the Dolphins.
Whoa.
I'm going with the Giants. Give me Saquon to have a huge coming out party in this game. Because he is so due for one, and he's probably going to be their entire offense in this one. I can't wait until he gets out of New York and he could go somewhere where they could protect him and not have him run through D lineman, 2 yards into the backfield. That would be very nice.
Look real good in some red and gold. That's what I'm thinking.
In
the Bay Area.
No, I would.
Could you imagine Kyle Shanahan with Saquon fucking Barkley?
Stop it! Don't put that image in my head. Don't put that image in my head because it terrifies me. Because I hate the 49ers. I hate them so much. And then to have to go against him too within Kyle Shanahan's system, that is also terrifying. So do not put that image in my head. Yeah, I'm taking the Giants and obviously them to cover if they are winning. Moving on, Colts 10-point favorites against the Texans. Gage, who you got?
The Colts will win and cover. The Texans suck. JT with another big game.
JT for 100 million yards in this game. I'm going to take the Texans to cover, but I'm going to take the Colts to win just because I feel like I don't know. A feeling.
All right. I am going to take the Colts to win and them to cover. They've been rolling recently. I know they lost to the Bucks last week, but it was a very tough fought game. And that just tells you how much the Colts are rolling right now. And if they can keep up with the Bucks, they can keep up with any team in the league.
No team wants to play them heading into December. No team is going to want to play them.
No, they're the hottest team in the league right now.
Especially not the fucking Houston Texans.
I think there's something to say. Just quick point. I think there's something to say for facing adversity earlier in the season as opposed to later in the season.
Yeah,
because we saw the Texans do it as we're talking about them a couple years ago when they went on like that 9-game winning streak and got into the playoffs. And we're seeing the same thing with the Colts.
Run the table.
Exactly. RELAX.
Yeah.
Washington football team at the Raiders, basically a pick 'em. Raiders are favored by 1. Gage, who we got?
Give me the Heine goat to continue his reign of terror on the league. The Washington football team is going to win and obviously cover. It's a 1-point spread. So
how is this a 1-point spread? That's crazy to me. I think the Raiders are by far the better team. I mean, look what they just did on Thanksgiving, beating the Cowboys in Dallas. No, I don't think anybody expected them to go in and win that game.
I think it's just because of Washington's hot streak, probably.
They're hot streak. I mean, give me the Raiders to win and cover this. If it was maybe a 6-point spread, I'd still think that the Raiders cover it. So I think the Raiders are winning this easy.
This game is going to prove a lot to me about Taylor Heineke. The Raiders are coming off a big win, and I do think they win this game. Although I did bet on Washington win the division, so I would not be pissed if they won. But I do think the Raiders end up coming out on top, and they easily cover that spread. Jaguars at Rams. The Rams are favored by a hefty 13 points. Luke, who is winning the? I know who's winning this game. Who's covering?
Do you know who's winning this game?
Oh, geez. Okay. No. I can't even say no. He's been like almost right both of these times. Do it.
No. We're getting too close to the end. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think they're also gonna cover this. Matt Stafford has been playing terrible football. I know he had the 2 long touchdowns last week against the Packers, but Matt Stafford has been on a icy cold streak. And he's suffering losses because of it. So give me the Rams to cover. They got to come out with a win. They got to start looking strong again. Sean McVay is going to come out pissed against this piss poor Jaguars team.
What he said.
All right. Sweet. Nice, short and to the point. Yeah. Rams. I'll take the Jaguars to cover. I don't know. Give them a little life here. Okay. I'm in last place. I can make decisions like this. Moving on. Ravens at Steelers. Ravens are favored by 4.5 points. Gage, who's winning this game?
I think that TJ Watt is out with COVID still, I believe. Joe Hayden was just ruled out for this game. The Ravens are going to both win and cover this. I probably would have picked it even if those guys were playing. So, give me the Ravens in this one.
I'm actually going to go with the Steelers. I think this is a great rivalry. I think Mike Tomlin is going to have his team ready to go. I think Big Ben Roethlisberger knows that he can't be playing the way he has been playing if they want a chance of getting into the playoffs, because in the AFC, it's really, really tight right now. And there's really no room to mess up here. And I think they're at home. It's an in-division rival. They're always going to play each other hard. It means a lot more than what people see on paper on their screens. So I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one. I think they're going to come out motivated to win. And it's not like the Ravens have been looking all too great as of recently either. So both teams are sort of on the downslope.
I'm going to go with the Ravens to win and the Steelers to cover. Even though they have a bunch of those injuries, like Luke said, it's a rivalry game. These teams do not like each other. And I think it's going to be a tough fought game till the end, no matter what. So give me the Ravens and the Steelers to cover that spread. Moving on to the next game in our list here. We got the 49ers going up against Seahawks. Just go, Luke, give it to me. 49ers are favored by 3, by the way.
I genuinely don't know. I think this is a toss-up because Russell Wilson has not been Russell Wilson, obviously not coming back from that injury. They're not getting DK Metcalf involved. They're not really able to get Tyler Lockett involved. They're not really able to do anything on offense right now is what I'm trying to get at. And I think the 49ers are on a hot streak. They just beat Minnesota last week. That was a huge game, way bigger than people could have expected. That has huge playoff implications on it, at least in the wild card scene. The 49ers, I think they're 6-5. They have a playoff spot right now. Yeah, I think they're probably going to go into Seattle. I think they're going to win. I think they're the better team. And it's really weird to say that. Really weird. Adrian Peterson, by the way.
Yes,
The
Adrian
Seahawk
Peterson, practice squad.
I'm going to take the 49ers in this one as well. And I mean, basically pick them. I'm going to take them to cover the spread too. The Seahawks, I keep wanting to pick Russ to have this bounce back game to look a lot better and for them to suddenly pull out a win or something. But I just am not comfortable enough doing that anymore to do it here, even though I have this itch too. So I'm just going to take the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I keep wanting to pick Russ. I keep trusting that he's going to come back. But like I said, this team, we tend to split games with divisional opponents, and we beat them earlier in the season on their home turf. And I think they come into Seattle, and I think they beat us. But that does not give me that doesn't make me feel good to say that. But and I do think they cover that the spread too.
Oh, I also think they cover. I don't know if I said
yeah. All right. Broncos at Chiefs. Speaking of divisional rivalry games, Chiefs open up as 9.5-point favorites. Do we know if Teddy is playing in this game?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't heard one way or the other, which makes me think that he will play.
Okay.
But I don't know.
All right. Well, it doesn't really change anything anyway. Luke, you want to start us off here?
Yeah. First off, the Bengals and Chargers should be on Sunday Night Football. That should be first said. I don't know why they flexed this game and not the other one. Chiefs are starting to get back up to the top of the AFC rankings. The Broncos got a really hard fought win against the Chargers last week. And that being said, the Broncos still suck, and I'm not going to trust in that win. Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win, and I think they're going to cover too, because I think Patty Mahomes, he's going to need to have a good game to get back into the good graces of every football fan ever. So yeah, give me Chiefs to win and cover.
I'm going to take the Chiefs to win as well, but I think that's too many points for me. I think I am going to take the Broncos to cover this one. I think that despite, their offensive issues and the quarterback situation, like we've talked about a bunch of times, that defense is still really solid. Give me Patrick Surtain to pick one off of old Patty Mahomes, but I do think that the Chiefs win, Broncos cover.
Yeah, I think the Broncos cover this, and I do think the Chiefs win also. Broncos, even though they won last week, I've said it, they are dangerously mediocre, and I just think they lose games like this. So give me the Chiefs in this one. Moving on, Patriots at Bills, probably the game of the week, honestly. This is going to be
game of the week.
Phenomenal game to watch here. Bills open up as favorites, as it is in Buffalo, and you get 3 points for being at home. They open up as 2.5-point favorites, which is basically Vegas telling you that this is a toss-up. So, Gage, who's winning this game?
In the battle of the red and blue, battle of the AFC East right now, their first matchup of the season, I think that the more consistent of the quarterbacks is going to win this battle, and Mac Jones is that guy. I think that the Patriots are going to come out and they're going to show that they can continue to do what they've been doing. They can go up against this division rival and they can pull out the win and continue their lead of the AFC East. And obviously, I think they're going to cover as well.
I know that their biggest test of the season was the Bucs earlier in the season, but in terms of like the seeding of the AFC playoffs and just who wins the division, this is the biggest game that Mac Jones has played in the NFL so far. And it's in Buffalo. Buffalo is hungry. Buffalo really hasn't been playing all that well as of late. They did get the win on Thanksgiving though. I think Josh Allen performs well in this game. I think the spotlight is going to be on him, and I think the Bills are going to win. I think they're going to cover, and they're going to, inch. If they win this, are they in first place in the AFC East?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think they're that close.
Okay.
What if I told you the Patriots are wearing throwbacks?
Yeah, give me the Bills to win and cover.
Yeah, I think this is a must-win game for the Bills. They've been slipping lately, and this is just, listen, if they want to keep themselves, they were at the top of the AFC. They were at the top of the NFL not too long ago. This is a team that is capable of winning the Super Bowl. I think we all recognize that.
They did just lose Trey White.
I know they lost Trey White, but that defense is still bigger than one player.
Yeah.
And I think it is a very, very good defense. That's obviously a very tough blow, but I think it's fine. It's not like any of those Patriots receivers are scaring me. But yeah, so I'm going to take the Bills to win and cover this game just because the Bills have to. If they don't, I'm starting to worry that the Bills might not even make the playoffs. Like, honestly, that's an honest worry for me if they do not win this game. If they don't, if it's a close game, then fine. Okay. Maybe they're still okay. But if it's the Bills looking like they looked, against the Jaguars or something like that, that's not okay. That is not okay. All right. That is going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for 40 episodes of support. We cannot tell you how much that means to us. Be sure to go download that Overtime app and be sure to go join our Discord to, find out first about those NFL fantasy overtime pools. Guys, it's free prizes for picking a couple of daily fantasy football players. Again, for free. All you got to do, use the link in the bio to download the Overtime app, make an account, make sure you link your Instagram to that account so they can contact you if you do end up winning, and just use the link that we post to join the pool. That's it. And then you can win some awesome prizes. You guys got any other closing remarks, Luke?
Yeah, but before you download the Overtime app, make sure to go follow all of us on social media. I am Football Fan Zone. Jake is Jake Maltese 3, and Gage is Extra Points, as well as all of our totally unqualified accounts on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram. We have it all. Make sure to go follow us on every platform.
Yeah, definitely be sure to do all of that. And I just want to say thank you. We've been seeing an influx of support lately. We've been seeing an influx of downloads and viewership and stuff like that. It's been amazing. We've absolutely loved it. So if you're not following us on those platforms, be sure to do so, especially on YouTube, because we do have more content rolling out now than we have before. Rather than just the full podcast, we've been posting clips and stuff like that as well. And that's going to continue. So we would really appreciate it if you support us there.
That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Go Hawks, baby. Woo!